Lloma Shaw, the president of the Balla Balla Centre in Clyde North, is joining us today at Hellow Media. Upon researching Lloma, we have discovered she has some amazing experience, and we're sure some interesting stories are going to be told.
Well, what's your favourite job?
I think it's volunteering, TJ. I like to volunteer now, and I can do that because I'm not working anymore. So I volunteer a lot, and that's my favourite now.
Well, let's go singing of the beat.
A Justice of the Peace serves the community by signing documents that you might need. So there might be a statutory declaration that you might need. You might need a new passport. You can come to me as a JP and I will sign them for you. Or you might get documents that you want certified. That means copied. And I certify it to make sure that it's a real copy. And it might be something that goes to court. I can sign that for you. So we do a lot of paperwork as a Justice of the Peace, and it's all free.
How hard is it to be part of the Justice of the Peace system?
It's not really hard, Ash. Anyone can become a JP, a Justice of the Peace. But you do need to know something about the law. You do need to be prepared to do some training and understand English, because we're in a country that speaks English. But mainly that you just want to meet people and volunteer and do things for the community. It's a very worthwhile job to do.
How hard was it to become a school teacher, and what was your favourite part of being a school teacher?
Oh, I love being a teacher, but it was a long time ago now. And I was an infant teacher, which teaches, good question, prep or beginners 1 and 2. So I did that for about 5 or 6 years, and then I went and did some more study. And it wasn't hard, I loved it. I love teaching.
Would you go back to teaching if you
Never. Never. It's really difficult now and different to what it was when I was first teaching. But my first grade, I had 44 children in my classroom, and I had to light the briquette heater every morning for heating. I was in the country, and I had a child with a disability that didn't know it. It was just Robbie. There was no difference in those days. So things have changed.
Hi Loda, I'm JP.
Hi JP, I'm JP too.
It's nice to meet you. I'm just wondering, what inspired you to become a JP?
Actually, it was because I was working with people with disabilities, and their parents had to have forms signed every year, which wasn't really wonderful. And I complained to my local member of Parliament. And he said, why don't you become a JP?
You do some volunteering work, so what are the volunteering work that you do?
Well, I'm a JP. Also, I work for Rotary, which is an organisation that supports our local community, and I'm president of the board of Balla Balla Community Centre.
Now, I would expect that you would love them all, but do you have a favourite one?
JP, I think, because I meet lots of people.
Okay, and I know that you've been on a lot of holidays. You love to travel, so what's your favourite holiday you've been on?
Oh, my favourite, the Antarctic.
Okay, and why?
Because it's so different. It's so beautiful.
Did you get to see any polar bears?
There's no polar bears in the Antarctic.
Okay.
But I've been to the North Pole, the Arctic. There's polar bears there, but I love penguins.
How long were you a CEO of a disability service for?
I was the CEO of Marriott Services for 12 years. And before that, I was the general manager of Knoxbrook for about 6 years.
What did you do as a manager?
Well, a manager manages the whole team of people and keeps you busy, looking after staff, looking after programs, looking after money. Marriott was a very big organisation. We had a factory and I employed 225 people, and I had a day service for 130 people. A staff of about 70, and I had residential homes, respite, and a fleet of 8 buses. So it was a big big job, and I loved it.
If you could invite anyone to dinner, who would it be?
Oh, that's a very good question, because I have a lot of people I'd love to have for dinner. I'd like to actually have the Queen. She's not alive now, but I think she'd have some wonderful stories to tell if I could have her for dinner. What I'd cook would probably be something very Australian, maybe roast lamb with pavlova. That would be nice, I think, because that's very Australian.
I think she would. I think she might enjoy that.
I think she might if she was still alive, which would be very nice, but
Would you serve her some tea and scones?
I think I'd serve her tea, but from what I've read, she likes little cucumber sandwiches rather than scones.
Why did you start working in disability?
Because I love it. I met some wonderful people, and when I was a teacher, I liked to work with children with special needs. And then when I left the department, I went into adults with disability. I met some amazing people with some amazing skills, which I loved.
So why did you start working in Balla Balla? And what did you do over there?
Balla Balla is where I volunteer, and it's in the community. And I was on the committee of management for a while, and then I was elected to become the president. I look after the Balla Balla affairs, if you like, and oversee, because it's a governance role, that Balla Balla is doing all the right things for the community and how better we can do it. Good volunteering job. You might like to be on a board one day or a committee. Have you thought about that?
I mean, I don't live near Balla Balla, so I don't know.
Well, there are other places that you might want to think about.
I mean, if it's a possibility, then, then maybe I do, but as of right now, I don't know.
That's all right then, maybe in the future.
What experiences have you had working with people with disabilities?
Oh, a lot of experience, Lockie. I started working in a language disorder unit for young children, and then a learning disabilities unit for children. Then I worked in a special school, and then later on I worked as a special education consultant to teachers who were working with children with disabilities. And then I moved up to adults with disabilities. So I've had a lot of years in the disability sector.
So you're saying that you were working with a language and learning disorder unit. Where was that?
That was in Dandenong.
And was it at a hospital or was it at a...
it was in a school, in a primary school, but it was attached to it. They were separate buildings.
What would you like to be best remembered for when you eventually pass on or pass away?
Well, I suppose I'd like to be remembered as a good person. I would like to be remembered as a good parent. I have 2 children. As a good community member, because I believe so strongly that if everybody did something in their community, the world would be a better place.
What are your favourite Disney movies?
My favourite Disney movie is The Lion King.
Yeah.
Is that yours?
Yes.
Why do you like it?
I love the most.
You like it the most?
Yep.
Yes, I like it. I like the music.
We do Disneyland.
Yes, I went to Disneyland in 2019. I took my whole family, 5 grandchildren.
Yep.
And my son and his wife and my daughter and her husband. So the whole 10 of us all went to Disneyland.
We'll get us a watch.
For Christmas. It was beautiful.
What is your favourite mode of transport?
My favourite mode of transport is by ship. I love the sea and I like being on the water, and I have travelled the world on ships. Big super tankers, big cargo ships for 4 years.
Because your husband was
My husband was a marine engineer.
I want to do that.
You want to do that too? Oh, it's a very hard job to do, very hard.
To get into or?
Both to get into and to do it. The engine room of a big ship is extremely hard. It's hot, very hot, and it's dirty, and it's noisy, and they work very long hours down there. It's not a nice place to be, but if you love it, it's a great place to be.
Where is your happy place?
I love travelling and I enjoy seeing new places. And a happy place, but there's a really good happy place for me, on a ship, looking out over the water, calm seas. That's my happy place.
What was your most memorable time travelling?
My most memorable time was when I was in the Antarctic and I was sitting on a rock and there were penguins in front of me and the water and icebergs. And this penguin waddled up and he pecked me on the knee. And then he fell asleep on my boot. And you're not allowed to move because you're not allowed to touch them. So I had to sit there and wait. And then Mum came up and he said, "Oh, food." And he woke up and I had 2 penguins just sitting here being fed. I'll never forget that. I was so lucky.
How long did penguins sleep for?
He slept for about 10 minutes. I had to sit there and there were penguins everywhere and you're not allowed to touch them. I can't move him off my feet, but obviously my feet were warmer than the rocks. So he thought this was very nice. And he's about this big. He was an Adelie penguin, but all grey and fluffy.
If you could be any animal, what would you be?
A penguin. I like penguins. I love penguins. They're so funny and they can swim and catch fish, and there's lots of them. They're so friendly. I like penguins.
Lloma, what's your favourite food?
It would have to be a roast lamb. When I'm travelling, I taste lots of food, which I like, but nothing like coming home and getting a good roast lamb.
Lloma, what's the secret ingredient with your roast lamb? Do you make it yourself?
Yes, I do, and I put rosemary on the top and just rub it all in over the top with a bit of oil and salt, and it's very nice.
And Lloma, what do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I garden. I love gardening, so I do all my own gardening, and I really enjoy growing plants and espalier plants. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's growing a plant up like that, and then you run it across that way, across the fence, so that it doesn't take up space, and you can use it for camellias or lemon tree, and I do that in my backyard.
Your work with adults as a Justice of the Peace, what changes have you seen in your time?
Oh, I've been a Justice of the Peace now for nearly 20 years, and I think over the years now I'm seeing more and more documents on divorce, more and more documents, people trying to access their superannuation early. And what it means is that it's really tough at the moment for people, and particularly they don't have enough money. And so that's increasing, and we're getting more and more of those sorts of documents, but also some nice ones, which is passports, visa applications, which means people are travelling and going overseas to rejoin family and friends.
Do you have a, I'm going to use inverted commas here, favourite form to fill out?
No, I hate forms.
Don't we all?
That's right. But a part of the job of a JP is to help people fill out their forms, because most forms I've seen them all before. Yeah. So people come in, they want to fill out a form, they don't know which part to fill out. So we do help people fill out their forms, which makes life a little easier sometimes, so they get it right.
You changed careers. What made you decide to change?
Well, I was in the education department for a long time, doing many jobs. And then one day I thought, I've had enough. I'd like to go back to real people, because I was doing a desk job. It's not as nice as it used to be. I want real people. So I moved into the disability sector, working with people with a disability, which was lovely.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the disability work, and was that an eye-opener for you?
It wasn't an eye-opener,
no,
but it was back home again for me.
Yeah.
It was. I enjoyed it.
Must have been good to be back home.
It was.
Thank you, Lloma, for chatting to us today.